In this video, I'll show you how to construct a truth table for the biconditional statement. The biconditional statement is really a combination of two conditional statements. So let's take our example here. You will pay off your debt if and only if you stick to a budget. So what that means is that you'll pay off your debt only one way. That's by sticking to a budget. The way that we symbolically capture that is we're showing that it contains the conditional that says, if you stick to a budget, then you'll pay off your debt. But also, if you pay off your debt, then that's enough to know that you stuck to your budget. So the biconditional combines two conditional statements, but the conditional statements run in reverse direction from one another. So let's construct our truth table. Here's our sentence. You will pay off your debt. Get the pencil there. If and only if, that's the double arrow, you stick to your budget. So that's the biconditional statement. On the left-hand side, we'll put our individual statements in there for you will pay off your debt, you will stick to your budget. And so just as we've done before, the four rows represent the combination of truth values that you might encounter with both of these simple statements. The biconditional statement is saying that there's really only one way for this thing to happen. You'll pay off your debt only one way, and that's by sticking to a budget. So the logic is trying to capture that. So our truth value of the biconditional should reflect our expectation of what we mean here by saying you're only going to pay off your debt one way, and that's by sticking to a budget. Well, let's look at row one. Well, row one says that D is true. We paid off our debt and we stuck to our budget. So yeah, we would expect that conditional to be true. Let's jump down to the fourth row. Here, you didn't pay off your debt and you didn't stick to your budget. And that's exactly what we would expect. You didn't stick to your budget, you didn't pay off your debt isn't paid off because you didn't stick to your budget. So that biconditional is true. So notice here, it's only true when the truth values of each side of the biconditional have the same truth value. So let's try it for row 2 and 3. Row 2 says you paid off your debt, but you didn't stick to your budget. Well, that's not at all what we meant by you'll pay off your debt if and only if you stick to your budget, right? So in that case, for row 2, the biconditional is false. And similarly, with row 3, it's false that you paid off your debt, but it's true that you stuck to your budget. Well, that's not the meaning of the if and only if here. So we didn't pay off our debt, but we stuck to our budget. Well, the biconditional is false then. It does not capture the meaning that you're going to pay off your debt one and only one way, and that's by sticking to a budget. So the truth value of the biconditional is another one of those where you'll want to know why it has the truth values that it does based on the combination of truth values for each side of the biconditional, but then you'll also want to memorize the rule, which is this. So the biconditional rule says that a biconditional is true only when both statements, in this case D and B, have the same truth value. So in row 1, they have the same truth value of true. In row 4, they have the same truth value of false, and that's why row 4 is true and row 1 is true, and row 2 and 3 are false.